let's try going through this. The pre-tribbers have latched onto the simple fact that Daniel creates an actual timeline. Daniel chapter 8, 9, and 10 is actually sequential. It's a countdown to Passover. They figured this out. So they are firmly believing. Now I've watched major videos on it. Now multiple ministries are coming out and saying that the rapture is today. They're saying this based on Daniel chapter 10. This is Nisan the 3rd. They deduct this from what the angel said in Daniel chapter 10, verse 12. Not only that, you have to know your bridal history, because we're the bride of Christ. So when I say bridal, that's what I mean, bridal history. We are the barley bride. No one understand this, that this is also Nisan the 3rd. This is the very day that the Levites were inducted into the priesthood. How did this happen? As I already told you yesterday, on Nisan the 2nd, the first red heifer was sacrificed, and the ashes of the red heifer was used to create the water of cleansing. It was today on Nisan the 3rd that Moses took the water of cleansing and purified the priest. So, this also mimics Daniel chapter 10. The angel said from the very first day, yada, yada, yada. And you can deduct that he started on Nisan the 3rd because it says on the 24th day of the month. So, because of this, the pre-tribbers have begun to understand, well, they've began to discover information that they don't understand. So they've come to the conclusion that the first seal will be broken today. And this is multiple ministries in agreement, in agreement with one another. They believe the first seal is today. And because they don't understand the information that they're looking at, once again, in Daniel's chapters 8, 9, and 10, because the information was perceived by them that Daniel chapter 8 is what exactly is happening to the Prince of Persia. Because of that, they don't understand what they're looking at, and they're thinking that, well, because Jesus Christ could not have been crucified in 30 AD because we would have been raptured 3 years ago. They're firmly holding to the fact that it must be Jesus Christ was crucified in 33 AD, 3 years later. In their confusion, because they don't understand the information they're looking at, they've deducted that the pre-trib rapture must happen now. The problem with that is, there is no pre-tribulational rapture. Now, I've had people commenting on videos, and my wife and I talked about it today, very disturbing comments. They don't have the wherewithal to process what the Bible says. They've been indoctrinated into a unbiblical belief, and my heart goes out to them. They don't even have the wherewithal to understand that they have confirmation bias, and they don't understand that psychologically they need to go through exit counseling. to be healed from this indoctrination, um, because they obviously are unable to process information, to process arguments, and to process evidence. That they quite simply can't do it because they have confirmation bias. So I'm here to tell you that there is no pre-trib rapture. And the pre-tribbers have absolutely backed themselves into a corner, because if Jesus Christ was crucified in 33 AD, you need to understand that Hosea chapter 6 verse 2, it is promised that after the second day is over, and in the Bible it is clear, multiple times, Old and New Testaments, it's stated that a day is like 1,000 years. And God is coming right out and telling you that after 2,000 years, after his crucifixion, you would be in the end times. He specifically says, in the third day, not during the second day, in the third day. That's what it says. So, with this in mind, this is why the pre-tribbers are scrambling. Now, look, I understand if you're reeling. I understand if you were indoctrinated by people that you trusted, even by loved ones. But remember, your view on when the rapture happens is not a salvation issue. I am not saying at all that your grandfather or your father or your grandmother or your mother, if they're the ones that trained you in dispensationalism, I am not saying at all that their salvation is in question. I didn't say that at all. I am saying that you need to be healed from dispensational indoctrination. There is no pre-trib rapture verse. The verses in the Bible that says there is a mystery associated with the rapture, the verses clearly come out and say that the mystery of the rapture is this: the dead will receive their resurrected bodies first before we do. Now look, the only prophecy model that was taught before the Council of Nicaea, all the ante-Nicene church fathers, all of them, for the first 300 years of church history, Jesus, the disciples, every preacher, every apostle, they all only taught one prophecy model: historic premillennialism. Maranatha Ministries has adapted the relocation model to historic premillennialism. What does that mean? It means that Revelation chapter 7 states that we are going to be raised up so we may live in his presence. What is his sight? It's the pillar of the presence. It's the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night. That's where you're going to spend the final 3.5 years of this age. So yes, you will be relocated pre-tribulation. You will not be raptured pre-tribulation, because the rapture happens at the first resurrection. Now, what does this mean? It means we're going to be tested just like the children of Israel were during the Exodus, during their wanderings in the wilderness. This time has been condensed down to 42 months. So yes, it is a pre-tribulation event, but the Bible is plainly stating it's a gathering. It's not a translation. You're not being translated to heaven. You're being gathered on earth. So I'm here to tell you with authority, there is no pre-trib rapture today. There's not. And if you have confirmation bias, it's because you have the inability to process information, arguments, and evidence. And you need to go through exit counseling. You need to be deprogrammed. Till next time, God bless. Godspeed.